This video overviews the processes of backing up and restoring and password recovery. So we've got a router and we've tried to get into the router and we don't know the password. And it's not our Cisco or class passwords that we know. So how do we recover our password? Well, we need physical access to this router. And we need to turn the router off and on. And then we need to issue a control break, which is Control C. And we're going to end up in our ROM on mode. And what we want to do is change our config register so that it doesn't boot our startup config file from flash. And the normal config register that you'll see is in 0x2102, and we need to change that. So changing it from normal to bypass, so that will not load up the flash. And we have to obviously type in config, which is our config register. And we're going to reset. And if we speed that process up, we'll see that we are going into the initial configuration dialog, which means we've bypassed our flash. So we'll say no, and what we're going to do is we'll copy our startup config file to our running config file. And there's our secret, which we could go and grab out and dump into a CISCO to MD5 hash, and we'll pull the cipher out and we'll find out what the password is. But for us, let's just reset it. So back to our normal. Now if we do a show version, the config register needs to be reset so it reads the file from flash again. So if we do a reload now, and we've recovered our password. Now what we want to do is go and look at our config. And we need to take our key 00 out of shutdown. And we're going to go and look at our server, which is input 0.0.2, and we have success. And on our server, we're going to run a service with TFTP. And we're going to remove these files just to clean it up so there's nothing on there. The service is on. And let's back up our running our startup config file so that we've got a backup of it. And then we can copy it back. And then we'll back up our operating system. And then we can delete our operating system and we'll copy that back so we have full disaster recovery. So we want to copy our startup config file. We want to copy it to our TFTP server. And we've got the name of, or the address of our host. default the name that's inside the square brackets there. And we've got our success, and we've got our bytes, and we've got our file. So if we had the capability, we would be able to open our file and edit our file, and then we'd be able to TFT back if we've changed something on that. So let's just say we have changed it, and let's copy it back across. And we want to copy from TFTP. We can start or run, it doesn't really matter. And that's our server and our source file name. And we've got a success, we've got bytes, and we've copied it. Let's back up our operating system. Before we do that, if you do a show version, you'll see that we've got a system image file. Now this -1 causes a few problems. And if we go and look at the show flash, it's the actual file, but they've put a -1 in up here, and it's a -4. So this is the file we need to use. So let's copy that. We're going to copy from our flash to our TFTP. Paste in our file name. And we get our file copying. We've got success. And we've got a backup of our operating system. Let's do something a little bit catastrophic. Now we could copy this back and we can change the bootloader and all those sort of things, but let's delete it. And we'll paste our file name back in. And if we do a reload, we get stuck in our ROM again. So what we want to do now is we want to set some parameters, which is our IP address, it'll be our subnet mask and our file name and our gateway. And then we'll do set our TFTP server. And find our file. And what we'll do is we will reboot our TFTP DNLD, which is our download. And yes, we want to continue. Now there is a little bit of a thing that you'll have to notice here. The switch port FA24 will time out because it tries to go into spanning tree. So you will have to go and set your port fast as your spanning tree protocol on that port, which we'll just go and have a quick look at. So we've got our spanning tree port fast, so that when this brings this interface up, this is not going into spanning tree and then the TFTP actually times itself out. And again, you could all do this obviously consoling in. So if we now reset, we're decompressing our image. And we've got our operating system, and because we didn't erase our flash, we've got our config as well. So that gets us out of password lockout. It means we can back up our config files, we can back up our operating system, and if we need to get out of disaster recovery, we can go into ROM on and we can get our operating system and we can pass that through.